We already know what I'm gonna say about this game. Whoo! What up, Suns fans? The Suns, in their first blowout loss of the seasons, get humiliated on the road against the Sacramento Kings. Final score: Kings 127, Suns 104. We'll talk all about this and more in just a second.
Gorgeous move from Bradley Beal.
Personally, I feel like that brother needed help.
Devin Booker with the clutch three.
Oh boy, a stinker. I usually wear a jersey for tonight. But as you notice, I'm not wearing a jersey right now because I don't feel like anyone deserves to wear a jersey tonight to at least be worn by me. Okay. Tonight was pretty bad. All right. It was already looking bad going into this game. The signs and the writing was already on the wall. As first of all, back to back, the Suns got the win against the Utah Jazz yesterday. Fine, whatever. We just needed to keep this game competitive, as most importantly, Bradley Beal, who left the Utah Jazz game early, he ended up missing today's game for a uh, just quick check of my notes. Something about ankle. A left calf contusion. So that is the reason why he didn't play tonight. Nurkic did come back in. KD's still out. Um, Grayson Allen was also on that list. So we also played without Grayson Allen. He had right hamstring soreness. So with that kind of information going into this game, you have Book. Book's the only man left standing, right? I've been wanting a Book game. Book has had his moments during this season. He's dropped 40. He just dropped 30 the other day. All right, we just needed like 20, right? 20 would be the mark where you would be okay saying that, okay, Book, nice effort. You're on a back to back. We'll give you a slight pass on this one, right? If he just dropped 20, Book dropped 18 tonight. Oh, God. 6 of 16, three turnovers. Uh, okay, I will say one thing here. As bad of a night this was, Suns did keep it close. Surprisingly, we somehow kept it close. During the halftime, we were down like five. During at the end of the first quarter, we were down six. So like we had moments where this was a winnable game, right? DeMar DeRozan, now this was an actually surprising update, actually didn't play the whole second half because at halftime he had lower back tightness. What? Okay, so that's one of the Sacramento's big three, right? That's one of them out. Okay, so now we have a chance to win this, and then we proceeded to have like the worst fourth quarter ever. Oh, this team. This is really concerning at this point on how the Suns have had such a great start, but just without KD, injuries are really just biting us right now. And it sucks to see. We just need someone to step up. Book, please, for the love of God, step up. He had he was getting double teamed a lot tonight. Um and we'll talk a lot more about that, about those double team actions. But I think the first question where we should get this thing started, does this count as a blowout? Should we panic now? Is this the first meltdown of the season? What do we think, boys? What do we think? Put in your bets now. Do is this a Suns meltdown? Do we hit the panic button? Are we panicking? I'm kind of panicking. a little deep down, I know it's not really like really anything fundamental on this team. It's more just so injuries. I mean, if I could put my 2 cents in why I haven't changed that thing, um, it's injuries, man. I mean, Book is even when he was when this team was fully healthy, that's how he was playing, and it worked fine. We are getting by. I mean, he could have been better though, and it sucks not having Book at his high point scoring self and him being reduced to this just high end role player now that he's apparently playing as. Ah, it's tough to admit that, dude. But like Book, man, get it, get your things together, dude. This is not the time to be having 5 assists. There's a statistic about it somewhere about like Book having more assists than Tyus Jones. Why? Why exactly is that the point? Why are we still going with Book as the passer and facilitator? He's not even good at it. A problem I had with Book at the beginning of this game was that since Book was getting double teamed early, you know, that makes for some great opportunity to get someone else open on the perimeter. Easy three, right? So plan is to charge in, penetrate, cuts, okay? Draw into the defenders, get into the defenders, kick three. Easy. Simple play as that. But I swear to Christ, many of the plays tonight ended with Book driving and then waiting a few seconds. He was like kind of torn between the idea of just shooting it himself or just kicking it. And that's the problem. The fact that he had to think about that ended up being his doom because the Kings players would then just swarm him, devour him right in the paint, and they cause a turnover because Book wouldn't take when it would be too slow on passing it out. It'd be too crowded and it's over. Book did get somewhat better at that play as the game progressed, but like make up your mind, dude. Either score or pass. And I think this is the biggest issue with the Suns right now. I don't think I've mentioned it before in previous streams or shows, but I think looking at this team has a trouble making their enemies pay. We've seen it, okay? Just sometimes during some games, even when we are fully healthy, the Suns just come out flat. They don't really take over in the first quarter. Um, I mean, they can start the first half of a quarter, like the first 6 minutes. They can start that quarter, that those minutes slow, and then they kind of ease into it. But it's never right off the bat. It's never right off the bat, and especially as the game progresses, we see well, we saw before, like the third quarter being a big thing, but now that's gone away. As now the third quarter, Suns have been struggling, and even into the fourth in these pretty recent games, they've just been struggling, and it looks like they've gone flat. They've gone ice cold, whatever you use to describe. Just the fact them not being able to put the ball in the basket, it's concerning. And I think it has to do. This is a random shot. Like I said, I we don't know what's going on behind doors, but we've heard a lot about the fact that the Suns play style, the way that the big three likes to play, is to play random. Okay? And I think that's the main problem here. Okay? The fact that anyone on the court could be a threat is good in concept, but is being kind of not executed well. And what I mean by that is that like a player could go in not knowing the play because they're playing random, okay? And a person there was a specific play tonight. I don't have a recording of it, but Book penetrated, cut, that opened up someone, he kicked it, and then they closed out on him. He kicked it to someone else. They got an open shot. They cut. You see a lot. You see a lot of these kind of plays for this by the Suns where they just it's cut after cut, kick, cut, kick, cut, kick. It's this kind of play all over again until finally someone ends up with an open shot, which is ideal, right? But because they're playing random, I I theorize that they are not ready to shoot because sometimes defense gets in the way, or sometimes they're just playing so random, so many passes that like by the time they have the open shot, they're not 100% if they should continue cutting or they should just score it. So that's what I think the issue is. No one's 100% if they're going to be the one scoring on each play. And that was a major issue for tonight. Okay? Book had that issue a lot. He's being super passive because he's torn between kicking it to a possible open shot, which they weren't many, or just straight up scoring. That is what I think is the Suns' biggest issue here. No one's completely sold on the shots. So instead of being 100% focusing on the shots, players are more like so 50, 70% if they're going to even take the shots. It's just always kind of, oh, I have the ball and I'm open. Okay, well, I'm going to shoot this. Not everyone is like muscle memory shooter knockdown shooters like KD, Book, and Beal. So this has had varying success, especially because Book, KD, and Beal are all the cutters in this scenario. They drive and fuel that. That's what makes this whole play work because they draw in all the defenders and they create those open shots for others. So I think that's a Sun's main issue. Again, I propose this as a theory. I'm not saying that it's 100% true, but it's just my theory and my take on why the Suns have such problem, just closing, putting the bucket in the basket. We've seen it. If you've been watching the Suns closely, you've seen them generate so many open looks. They do have open looks. They have the open looks, but they struggle. They continue to struggle to put the ball actually in the basket. Yeesh. Yeesh. Enough said. Enough said. That's what I think the Suns' biggest issue was tonight. Aside from the injuries, okay? Suns still played all right. They knew they were shorthanded. And so they had to come in and they knew they had to scratch and fight, which they actually did. We ended up losing the rebound battle, which I didn't know of, but we're leading it for quite a while. A crazy 19 offensive reboards. That's crazy. I don't know why I'm rolling my R's on that. I don't know why I'm what, I don't know what I was about to say. Leading that charge, and this leads into let's just get into the players tonight. Akogi had most of those offensive rebounds. Sorry, he had 6 of them tonight, most on the team. And well, let's just get right into it. Josh Akogi led this team in points. You heard that right. That's why Josh Akogi is on the thumbnail of this live stream because Josh Okogie was amazing. Absolute legend out there. Like I've said, he's always been amazing around the rim. And tonight, oh God, he was amazing. Just 8 rebounds. Okay. Just listen to this 8 rebounds, 10 of 15. All right. 3 of 4 from three. Goodbye the shooting three problems that he had last year. He looks fine at it this year so far in all the attempts he's had. What the heck? This thing could come off? I did not. I did not know that was possible. But Akogi, amazing freaking night. It's crazy that he was this team's leading scorer, but that's just what happens when you play random. Okay, stupid freaking thing. Um, the Suns have 99 problems, but Kogi isn't one of them. Okay, he's been amazing. Also, I guess since we're still touching on problems here, um, yeah, the Kings shot 65% from the field this game. Yeah, you're just not gonna win games if you don't make shots. That's kind of a thing that happens during basketball games. The Kings shot 64% and 53% from three the whole game. We've had Suns games where like they shot up to like 60% or like 50% for like a quarter. But to do it for a whole game and across like a whole team is insane. And that basically goes to show you why this fourth quarter was such a blowout. I'm giving up on this thing. This I think I broke I think I broke it. Anyway, yeah, you're just not going to win games if you don't stop the other team from scoring. And that's a reason why tonight was a 20-point blowout. So, great stuff there. We could not get a stop. It looked close in the third, but then Fox just completely took over this game. We could not get a stop on Fox. We couldn't get a stop on anyone. It's just crazy the amount of spacing that the Kings had out there that we could not double team Fox. And even if we did, they'd probably get the foul call on it too, which another game where I haven't liked the refs officiating. I think the refs are consistently bad from game to game. There hasn't been a game this season where I think the refs have fairly officiated a whole game. It's always bad for both sides, you know. It's just really bad things. Okay, when you can't stop, when our offense is all jammed up and confused, and when they can't miss a shot, and yeah, that's basically tonight's story. Okay, so I mean, at least we had a Kogi. He was the only bright spot on this team. Let's take a look at that starting lineup here, which is really interesting because since KD and Beal are out, we had to fill in those spots. So we had Ryan Dunn stepping in for KD, which he did last game, and we had Royce O'Neal getting getting a green light for tonight's game. I'm trying to remain positive here, but just mentioning Royce O'Neal. Royce O'Neal had a bad game. 2 of 12. Yikes. 1 of 6. It would have been better if we had the hindsight we had now. I would have been much fine. It would have been much better to have a Kogi starting instead of Royce O'Neal. He absolutely killed this game. He was killing me in that third quarter. I actually never wanted to see Royce, o- Royce O'Neal never touch a basketball again. It's crazy. It's crazy. He was so streaky this game. He could not make a layup, and the Kings were making their layups. So when we had to try and answer back, it was disaster. It all blew up, and that's why we never saw Royce O'Neal again for like the whole fourth quarter and third quarter. So disgusting. Ryan Dunn had a pretty nice game. 10 points, 2 of 7, 11 of 4. So I mean, I don't know why we didn't put Ryan Dunn on Fox more. Seemed really important near the end of the game, but who knows? We still lost. Uh, Yusuf Nurkic had a fine game. Saw a lot of Suns fans hating on Nurkic. He did have a dumb foul, which really irked me when we were trying to get momentum in the third quarter. I think Nurkic is just Nurkic. He's back to missing his threes. 0-3 from three. He only had a bucket, 3 points, 11 rebounds though. So at least he succeeded in that department, and he came out actually really aggressive tonight, which I really liked. He had 2 turnovers, but this is where I counter and say he had 3 steals. So that's I think though that beats it out. So I still think Yusuf Nurkic did pretty well tonight. Tyus Jones, he's all right. He's not. Just this whole starting lineup was could have been better. Especially, we just needed this whole team to do better. Like walking into this game, I can't. I knew it was a loss either way, but just keep it competitive and I'll be happy. But if we were to realistically win, we need these guys to step up. And it's really bad when 2 of your starters has single digit points and then 2 of your other starters has 10 points. And Booker D have 20. So pretty bad. So far it just what happened to the true scoring book that we all know. I mean, the foul calls help during this game because he got like, he put 3 fouls on Fox. But I wish, I remember, I remember when he had those true scoring nights and he was a magician with the ball, always finding a way up. So I think actually the more interesting part of tonight is talking about the bench rather than the whole starting lineup because that was a whole disaster. I already mentioned about Josh Okogie and his heroism acts saving this game from like a complete 50-point blowout. We because there's so many injuries tonight, we got some of our two-way players to come back from the G League, and well, now we're seeing why we have a G League now because they came out pretty nice. Jalen Bridges, one of our two-ways, uh, didn't come out. He came out in trash minutes, and when I say trash minutes, I really mean blowout minutes because that's how this game ended with a 20-point lead. So Jalen Bridges, I mean, he didn't make a basket. He had a 1 point though. Didn't see that. I mean, at this point, I went to the restroom in the fourth, so I didn't see much of the fourth during that blowout minutes. Mason Plumlee could have been better. Again, after delivering such a nice night, a double double the other night, just ugly night tonight. I mean, that could be just attributed to like maybe just the back to back days. Ugh. 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 And still staying on centers, also played tonight, and he was just as bad as the as Mason Plumlee. He had 4 points though, so nothing really good from our centers tonight. Monte Morris had a pretty decent night, 10 points, 2 of 3 from 3. Um, Not much thought on him. It just gave Tyus a little bit of rest. Although I did like, let me okay. So during the third quarter, coming out of the halftime, we ran a very interesting lineup. Was it? Wait. Okay, no. My bad. Coming into the fourth quarter, we had a very interesting lineup, which was Monte Morris, Tyus Jones, Ty Washington, which we'll get to him, Oso, and Okogie. 2 point guards, and then yeah, that's to start the fourth. And surprisingly, they actually did pretty well. They had a 6 point swing and went on an 8-0 run. So that was pretty great until they subbed in Fox and it ruined everything and that just destroyed the whole momentum of the game. So, very interesting lineup. Very weird. It's just kind of the lineup's given like the energy of scraping at the barrel, like what's his name? Um, Bud just throwing something together, you know. Like you got to answer the fourth. That was an all right lineup, and that was basically our most offensive lineup. Not offensive lineup, but offensive firepower lineup tonight. That's how bad it was. That Akogi, like this lineup made sense only for this game because Akogi was amazing. Monte and Tyus were all right, but they were also pretty good. Also was all right. But Ty Washington coming out of the G League had a pretty amazing game. I liked what he did out there. He he ended out he played 16 minutes, 18 or 8 points. Amazing. 2 or 3 from 3. He hit some pretty huge threes just coming in, and that was pretty awesome to see. So, maybe we'll see more of him. I don't know. But, it's just again seeing that like these guys are trying to prove something. So, it's always nice seeing that kind of energy come in. Um again, really scraping at the barrel to say something nice here. Speaking of G League, though, Damian Lee should probably go down there. Yikes! I wish Damian Lee could be better. But like when those minutes he was out there, he like tripped 2 times. Needed a pair of fresh shoes. Hopefully Booker like gave him his an extra pair of book ones during halftime because Damian Lee was slipping. Like I thought that court was just greasy from sweat. So like Damian Lee was slipping up everywhere on that court. Um, yeah, just a mixed night from Damian Lee, and also it's pretty clear that he's just like not accustomed to this lineup as of yet. Because every time he stepped out, the screens and just how the offense flowed looked pretty bad. Like it was a blemish on the offense. Pretty rough night for what was a promising welcome back during the preseason. And then finally, I love to admit it, boys, but we finally did it. It took a 20-point blowout game and a missing Grayson Allen, KD, and Bill. That was the price we had to pay to finally see some Bobo minutes. Hold on. Yeah! I don't know if you heard that or not, but that was a clapping. Um, finally, after so long, we got our Bobo minutes. And I'm happy to say he was one of two. He did make a bucket, scored 5 points in 6 minutes. He might be back. And also, apparently, when I was going to grab the thumbnail for this for this live stream, I was on the Suns Twitter, and apparently that 5 points was enough to push Bobo over 1,000 career points. So you heard that right. Bobo makes history in his first season debut against the Kings, as he has now 1,000 career points. What can I say? What can I say? I mean, I think that's a fair trade um, for what we gave. So that was pretty nice. Yeah. So Suns dropped to 3-9 on the season. Lost both against Sacramento, and we finally get a break. This day to day kind of was brutal. So we get a day of rest. I swear this schedule is freaking crazy. Okay, we get a day of rest before we face OKC. Oh my god. Hopefully, we have Beal back for that one. Maybe Grayson Allen too. Those two guys would be really helpful against a hot OKC team. Um, that will also be the second game of the in-season tournament. So that will be very interesting. The OKC is currently now the first seed. Um, they are now 10-2 on the season. Scary weather surviving this KD-less stretch of time. How good we how little we knew. We had it good, Suns fans. Where were you when the Suns were 9-2 on the season? Kind of sucks. Uh I guess I actually predicted this one right because I predicted we'd lose to Sacramento today. So, I guess I'm still on my predictions for that one. But that is about it. All I have to say for this one. Bad night. Uh, schedule's killer, man. Um, we keep going on this like hopscotching thing where day off, day on, day off, day on, and that continues to the 20th, November 20th. Which okay, wait. Let me discuss this real quick. So our we have a day off, and on Friday we face the OKC. Then we have a day off, and then we're right into another back to back against the Timberwolves and Magic. Oh my God, what is this schedule? They're trying to kill us out here. Okay, and then after that Orlando game, which also by the way that back to back is a away game, so we're in Minnesota, then a home game. So we have to come back to Phoenix. It's not the easiest flights, okay? And then we have a off day after Orlando, and then we're back on with the Knicks. And that is finally when we have a break, a 6 day break or a 5 day break. So holy crap, we're almost to the end of this marathon. KD should be coming back anytime soon. We're really going to need him going into December. Um, but yeah, that's all I have to say. Have a good night, everyone. Let's forget about this game. Let's just burn this one. Okay? We'll see you back on Friday against the OKC Thunder. Hey, if you're new to this channel, please like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. It's amazing. So yeah, we'll be back. Suns lose. I almost said win. Suns lose. Suns lose. All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Kevin